Time to take a look at the most popular videos that are trending online at theweathernetwork.com. This one, you want to look away. This poor tow truck driver, close call for him. A car that loses control ends up flipping over him, and he actually ends up escaping unharmed. Runs into some oncoming traffic. Luckily, there was no vehicles there at the time. All right, well, as we take a look at our weather alerts this morning, there's actually not very many across the country, but we do have these special weather statements. A little bit of patchy freezing rain and drizzle this morning in areas like Sudbury, Timmins, Kapuskasing, but then that risk for freezing rain, that could come back as we head through the afternoon hours.
And we are going to see that warm front extend in through Quebec, in through Atlantic Canada as well, and it's going to be bringing in a burst of snow on the high end, maybe 10 centimeters, but Montreal, we're going to be seeing a snowy scene today for you.
Yeah, just a little bit of light snow. Ottawa as well as we head through the afternoon hours. This system continues its trek further east into Atlantic Canada after a rather snowy week, Rachel. For a lot of the Maritimes, we've got even more snow coming your way. So snow lovers rejoice. We've got more, about 5 to 10 coming to portions of central and northern Maritimes. That'll be moving into Newfoundland as we head into Saturday night.
All right, we got a big system for Ontario to start off next week, and that's where we start our next one.
A Colorado low, that's where we really have all of our eyes focused in the long range. This is going to be moving into the Great Lakes as we head into Monday and Tuesday. Timing, location of all of this precipitation still a little bit unknown. The low hasn't even formed yet, but you know, freezing rain and rain could become possibly a concern down towards the south.
Absolutely. So the GTA for the morning rush on Monday, we could see some icy conditions. If you're down towards Windsor, London, Sarnia, into those really icy conditions.
Yeah, you know what? Models have been trending this amount of snow a little bit further south. So areas like North Bay, Sudbury, they could be looking at possibly, you know, over 20 centimeters of snow. A great couple of days ahead to be hitting the slopes, especially if you live in southern Ontario up towards the Snowbelt region. We've got a good amount of snow on the ground. We're on the ground in Snow Valley and Barrie this entire day, giving you more information on the ski and snowboard pass. We also have more snow coming our way as we head into early next week. A Colorado low that's going to be developing, spreading in heavy snow for central portions of Ontario down towards Algonquin, and even the Snowbelt could be picking up some fresh snow as we head through Monday and Tuesday. Highway conditions will certainly get a little bit more snow covered as we head towards the overnight hours into early Saturday. A weak clipper and a warm front associated with it will be spreading in some light snow across areas like Trois-Rivières, Quebec City, and the eastern townships. As we take a look at amounts, well, roads could be getting covered with about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow as we head through Friday night and into early Saturday morning. Heavier amounts can be expected up towards Quebec City. On the west coast, an unsettled pattern continues. Driving through the southern mountain passes, expect snow and a messy mix. Usually put out signs, so I'm usually trying to dodge all of that. Now, today we're dealing with a little bit of freezing drizzle and freezing rain across portions of northeastern Ontario. This is likely going to be an afternoon story. Down towards the south, though, temperatures are actually going to be getting quite comfortable. And Michelle Mackey is joining us the show this morning. She's outside in Snow Valley. And Michelle, temperatures today pretty comfortable, so it looks like you've got a great day to enjoy some outdoor activities.
Have fun, connect with the family. Think about Family Day. That's approaching for many Canadians. March break as well. That snow pass, that is looking pretty good. A good treat for the kids.
Especially this weekend, too, with nice conditions above seasonal. Of course, we don't want to see an extremely long January thaw, but you know what? A couple milder days, that's going to be great to get outside. You don't have to add on those millions of layers.
I agree, and you can actually use your phone out in the cold. It's not going to shut it off in a second. This is some snow that's moving into Montreal today. Looks like Ottawa could be seeing a couple flurries, and then this pushes right into Atlantic Canada. It's another snowy system for Nova Scotia.
Yeah, you know what? This will be bringing in some snow through the pre-dawn hours of Saturday. We're looking at probably about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. Snow into Newfoundland as we head into Saturday night. Significant snow, freezing rain, and ice pellets ahead with our next one. Let's dive a little bit deeper.
And this is it, the Colorado low that's coming in for Monday. There's still a lot of model discrepancy. Who sees the freezing rain? How long does it last? Do we switch over to rain? This is a system that we want to stay connected with you about, so do check out the Weather Network. It is Friday. We are 19 days into January, and it is time for another edition of Ask the Met. So, Chris and Kelly, you guys ready to talk about snow?
We are.
Always.
Our favorite topic, right? And this one comes from Chris Weaver. Fact or fiction? The weather can be too cold for it to snow. I think it's fiction. The North Pole seems to be very cold and very snowy. What do you guys think about this one?
Well, you know what, Chris? This is actually a common misconception.
Yes.
It's a myth. Usually when we're talking about snow and the very cold temperatures, cold air really is usually associated with stable air, high pressure in
That's
place.
right.
And when we've got the stable air, well, we really don't have any moisture and stability to form the snow.
Yeah, you almost say it's too stable. able to snow. Colder temperatures, less water vapor. However, it can still snow at very cold temperatures.
Definitely.
A good example is you can get that Arctic air over the Great Lakes.
Yes.
But thing is, though, it's the lakes underneath, the warm lakes underneath that's rising into that cold air that creates that instability. So can it be too cold to snow? I mean, maybe once you get into the minus 40, minus 50 Celsius range, but otherwise, no. It's just, though, it's less likely to because the conditions aren't ripe for it.
And you know what? I want to mention one more thing, because the snow, it's forming in the upper layers of our atmosphere.
right.
And there's multiple different layers in the atmosphere, different temperatures, and sometimes you've got warmer air aloft, sometimes you've got colder air aloft. So the snow, it's always going to form in the upper layers because it's always colder.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a
and minus
good
40,
question.
chances are you have Arctic high pressure over you, and that sinking air will suppress precipitation too.
And we all know what that Arctic high pressure
Oh,
feels like.
yes.
It almost looks like our across southern prairies, almost looks like a little bit of grapple there in that shot. And we are looking at snow across the northern prairies.
This week, heavy snow falling along the coastal mountain range.
It is amazing.
Oh,
And we
wow.
see this big trough developing across the west. And guys, that leads us to our next question. What the heck is a weather trough?
All right. Well, there's two kinds. There's the shortwave trough, which you'll take, Kelly, and I'll talk about the long wave trough, or the upper trough that we talked about. And I think we have a map to show you. And basically, it's where the cold air and the warm air meet. And you see this big horseshoe pattern here. That means there's a lot of cold air digging down further to the south. And as a result, you can get some stormy weather, again, the collision of the air masses. And it's on the east side of that trough. That's generally the storm track.
That's exactly right. Now, shortwave troughs, this is what we see a little bit more common day to day. System-wise, with our next graphic, you can actually see where the moisture is if we see a little bit of precipitation. This is just basically acting where the instability is in the atmosphere to form the precipitation.
All right, guys, that's your Friday edition of Ask the Mets. Your locals start now.
Well, an active pattern certainly has been the story this week for British Columbia, and that's going to continue as we head towards Friday and into the weekend as well. A new system will be pushing onshore, bringing in strong winds to western portions of Vancouver Island. High elevation snowfall as well, although freezing levels will be lower than what they have been these last couple of days. As we take a look at our rainfall forecast, parts of the south coast looking at about 30 to 60 millimeters of rain as we head throughout the weekend, and high elevations can be expecting over 50 centimeters of snow by Sunday. Yeah, you know, Michelle's absolutely right. Embrace the winter season.
Agreed.
And this is the weekend to be doing it. You were talking about, you know, maybe going tobogganing, maybe doing some skiing. This is the perfect weekend to be doing so in southern Ontario because we're finally getting into some milder weather.
That January thaw is coming in, but January thaw comes with a price sometimes, and that could leave precipitation a little mixed, a little icy, and that's why we do have these special weather statements across northern Ontario today. As we look further to the east here, down to Ottawa, Montreal, snow for you.
Yeah, the same system that's going to be bringing snow probably past your evening commute. Ottawa, Montreal may see a little bit, but over towards Quebec City, the bulk of that snow, that's going to be falling through the overnight hours tonight. This will be making its way into the Maritimes, 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. Newfoundland by Saturday afternoon and evening. This has been a pretty snowy week for Atlantic Canada.
It has been, and you got another round of it, Newfoundland into Saturday. And look at Ottawa. You know, Kelly, Ottawa, I think, has to be one of the greatest places in Canada to visit during the winter.
Totally.
With the Rideau, with Parliament, the fresh snow, just gorgeous. I know our very own Suzanne
That's
Leonard's
exactly
actually
what
there.
I was going to say. She's going to be definitely
She always
doing some
inspires me
skating.
to think about Ottawa in the winter time.
Now, we are going to be dealing with a bit of a messy system that's coming in as we head towards Monday and into Tuesday. Heavy swath of snow on the northern edge of this, about 10 to 20 centimeters possible, with this model trending it a little bit further south. Well, Rachel, this is where we get into the threat for rain and freezing rain across southern Ontario.
Exactly. This is the type of system where you need to keep connected with us here at the Weather Network. This forecast is going to change as we go through the weekend, and we want to get you prepared into Monday morning.
A little bit further south. Take a look at the snow on the ground. Currently, we actually have some on the ground all the way down to the
Oh,
Gulf
my
states.
goodness.
Now, temperatures, of course, are going to be warming up, so this is all going to be melting. But who's outside and enjoying the snow today? Well, that's Michelle Mackey. She's up in Snow Valley, which is just west of Barrie in southern Ontario. Looks like you're inside right now, getting all suited up to go maybe hit the slopes.
Having some fun in the snow, that's what you need to do on a Friday. But you know, Kelly, that makes me think about going skating. And personally, My favorite part of skating is taking that skate off.
Oh, it feels
The
so
feeling
comfortable.
of
Putting your
just
boot on
stretching
after
your
that,
foot.
it
So
feels like you
good.
have the most comfortable boot in the world. And I'm excited to see Michelle go skiing because I don't know if she's ever actually skied before.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
She maybe has skied before. I just don't know.
But maybe not on live TV.
Yeah.
So this is going to be some good television, so stay with us. Just want to get you up to speed on the special weather statements in northern Ontario for a bit of some freezing drizzle, some icy conditions, but it will be cold enough, this system, by the time it goes into Ottawa and Montreal to be straight snow this afternoon.
Yeah, likely as we head through the evening, overnight hours, areas like probably up towards Quebec City could be seeing about 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. Atlantic Canada, you've got a system that's offshore, so not impacting you really weather-wise, but you will see some stronger northerly winds, so temperatures are a little bit cooler today. Snow moving in as we head towards Saturday.
All right, we have a big system that we want to talk about. This is our next one.
So a Colorado low, that's going to be moving into the Great Lakes as we head towards Monday and Tuesday of next week. Concerns will be this heavy swath of snow across the north, but also, Rachel, down towards the south, not only rain, but possibly freezing rain.
This is a system that you have to keep connected with us here at the Weather Network as models are changing, putting ice down across the south.
Yet, so I'm going to send it back inside. Oh my gosh, I'll see you in a few minutes and then I'll go down. Okay.
There's Michelle. Okay, that looks like so much fun. You
So
got to
much
stay with
fun.
us because within the next 10 minutes, Amanda Weldon will be here. Michelle Mackey will be going down
We'll be
that
finding
hill.
out if she made it down the
Yeah,
hill in one
that,
place.
that is going to be some good television. Leanna McLean also joining the show as well. All right, we want to get into the snow though because Kelly, we actually in this situation would be better to be a couple degrees colder because then we'd see straight snow. This is bringing icy conditions and that's the worst for travel.
Yeah, you know what? A little bit of patchy freezing drizzle. That's been the story for areas like Kapuskasing, Timmins, Sudbury as well. This system, as it continues to track further east, will be spreading in some snow across portions of Quebec through the overnight hours. Quebec City, you could be looking at about 10 to 20 centimeters. And then, of course, Rachel, we know these systems continue to track further east.
Into Atlantic Canada they come, and Nova Scotia, you've got another round of snow on the way. New Brunswick, you'll be seeing that as well. And then it does look like into late Saturday, Newfoundland, bring out the shovels.
Yeah, that's right. Ottawa, you'll be looking at just some light flurries, so I don't think you need the shovels today and even into the weekend because we're actually going to be looking at more of a rain event, possibly a freezing rain event. Let's dive into those details right now.
After a warm weekend across southern Ontario, we see this system coming in for Monday. And this is the type of setup where we want our viewers to keep connected with us here at the Weather Network. Some models are saying this could put down a decent amount of ice. We could see ice throughout the day across the Golden Horseshoe on Monday. Others making it change over to rain a little quicker. So it's a tricky forecast at this point.
At this point, it's all about the track of the low, and right now, it hasn't even formed yet. So make sure you stay tuned here at the Weather Network throughout the weekend. We'll continue to keep you updated. This graphic is just a heads up to let you know which areas potentially could be dealing with that pink, which is basically freezing rain or ice pellets. As we take a look at the next 7 days for the city of Toronto, though, Rachel, beyond that, colder air, it's making a bit of a return.
It makes its return. It does, and then warm up again into next week. And when we come back, remember Michelle Mackey. She's on the tube, live TV, flying down that hill. That's next.